Hello, I'm Rebecca Hopkins, the CEO of the STA Group, and I'm here with sports broadcaster Alex Dibble.
Hello.
Hello. We're very excited to be introducing Series 2 of Tech Chairs.
We are indeed. Have you ever watched Frasier?
Yes.
There's a quote in Frasier that I absolutely love. It is this. Frasier, he's talking to Niles. And I don't know why Frasier came into my head. I think it's because we've spoken to some Americans over the course of the podcast. And Frasier's talking to Niles, and he says, "It may be an unwise man who doesn't learn from his own mistakes, but it's an absolute idiot that doesn't learn from other people's." and I thought, as we're trying to introduce the podcast series, that's essentially one of the reasons why we decided to do it, wasn't it? It was to hear from sports tech entrepreneurs who have been there and done it and made a load of mishaps and missteps and mistakes, and hear from them in the hope that people listening might go, "Oh, thank goodness you told me. Now I won't fall into the same trap."
Well, I think it's one of those things when you decide to start any business. There's the 3 a.m. wake up. There's the looking at the empty bank balance. There's the moment where you've got your head in your hands and just thinking, what on earth do I do? And it's quite comforting to know that we all have those. And then when you work in sport, I think until you've actually seen it from the inside, it can seem glamorous and exciting, and it's a well-known phrase that its currency is passion. But there are nuances and real challenges to doing business in the sports industry. And hearing from people who've got the hard yards and the miles in the saddle echo that and forewarn you or reassure you that that's the case, it can. If we bring comfort to some people, our work here is done, Alex.
Yeah, and I think it will be comforting, as you say, just to hear that other people have experienced exactly the same emotions that you might be going through or that you've had along the way, but also that there might be, when you found a company, it may be you and one other person, your partner, maybe a small team. And how do you know when you come up against or have faced with a decision, quite significant financial decision about the future of your company? How do you actually get the advice that you need to be able to be confident that you're making the right decision? And when the consequences of maybe going wrong are so big in that moment, you want desperately to know that you're doing the right thing, and hopefully hearing from some of the people that we're speaking to should make you and make people think, "Oh, brilliant, yeah, great, thank you," and just make the path ahead a little bit clearer, perhaps. Do you think that's fair? Is that the idea?
I do, and I think that hindsight and the 35,000-foot view from people who've really done it. We've had an extraordinary array of advice and insight from don't pause to have kids to some of the psychological suggestions they've made, and we've even got quite Buddhist with that yin and yang versus yin yin or yang yang conversations, as well as incredibly practical advice about some hard-hitting business stuff like managing your cap table. It's all there.
It's all there. We have covered everything. No stone has been left unturned. So we're obviously recording this little chat after having done all but one of the interviews that are going to be part of this series. So that's why we are able to talk about the interviews we've already done. But yes, and before we go on, we should say that this series of Tech Chairs, this season, I guess, if you're in the US, is sponsored by Sports Tech HQ in Indiana. They are building the largest cluster of sports tech companies in North America, and we are absolutely delighted to be partnering with them for season 2. So yes, series 2 is very much powered by, to use sports terminology, powered by Sports Tech HQ in Indiana. More details in subsequent episodes about that. But yeah, just for people's benefit. So the people we've spoken to, we've got across the pond. We've speaking to 3 people in the United States. We've had Miles Grote, who founded his own company and now is a VC. We've had Amber Dodson, who's with Echo Bar. They're going through a really interesting time because their company is expanding and going transatlantic as well.
And funnily enough, Miles and Amber are going on some of that journey together,
Yes.
which we didn't know until we started speaking to them.
No. And we've also had Stephen Schweikart, who's got a whole really interesting and different story to tell. We've had who have we had kind of this side in Europe? We've had Trev Keane in Ireland, who again, 15 years in fund management and then going into sports tech. That was an interesting story, and his stories and his tales and his regrets. And then Adam, who will be really fascinating to hear from, Adam Clark, the co-founder of YouRun. And then who am I forgetting?
You're forgetting, not least of all, Ben
Achilles.
Yes.
Who was great. Ben is worked all over the world in so many different markets, but has had multiple companies over the course of 20 years in the business. So put all that wisdom together, and you've got Series 2 of Tech Chairs.
You have indeed. And look out for the person who sacked themselves. That was a bold move, but you're going to have to listen to find out who that was.
Very, very nicely done. A teaser to end the introduction episode. So we hope that's whetted everybody's appetite, and see you next week. Next week we're going to be releasing the first couple of episodes, so see you then.
See you.